Shalom. Well, I'd like to begin as always by giving all praise, honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to all you Akim who are pushing this word around the globe in truth and in sincerity. We are the real Hebrew Israelites, the true Israelites, these so-called Negroes, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, Mexicans, Jamaicans, Dominicans, Haitians, West Indians, so on and so forth. We are the true children of the man in the Bible who was named Jacob, and then later named Israel. So we are the true Israelites according to our seed line, which goes by your father. And this also applies to any of you who maybe look like the other nations, but this word and this truth resonates with your spirit. It's possible that you might too be an Israelite because we were scattered amongst the nations and we've started to look like some of the other nations, but ultimately our seed line goes back to the man named Jacob. So this may be for you. So in this lesson I want to talk about an article I read about chickens catching hell under Esau. Actually, I think that might be what I might name this lesson, Chickens Catching Hell Under Esau. So let's get into it. This is from the Daily Telegraph. It says, chickens at one of the UK's biggest producers are lame and struggling to breathe following footage shows. I shouldn't laugh, but that's kind of harsh, man. So it says a secret film has emerged from 3 farms in Lincolnshire run by Moy Park. Now, this is no surprise to me because Esau's a fucking bastard anyway. So let's break this down. It says, chickens at one of the UK's biggest producers are lame and struggling to breathe due to cramped conditions, new footage shows. A secret film has emerged from 3 farms in Lincolnshire run by Moy Park, which supplies meat to Ocado, Sainsbury's and Tesco's. The video shows dead birds left to rot and chickens unable to stand from extreme leg injuries. Moy Park, which is responsible for 30% of the British poultry market and delivers to supermarkets across the country, owns the 3 locations under scrutiny. Saltbox, Lady Wrath, and Mount Farms. Lady Wrath Farm, thought to be one of the worst offenders. That's got to be spiritual, man. Lady Wrath sounds like Lady's Wrath, and we know that women are wicked. So let me get back into this. It says Lady Wrath Farm, thought to be one of the worst offenders, holds up to 189,000 birds at a time, thanks to a new double-decker chicken shed, one of the first in the UK, designed for over 30,000 birds on each floor. That's fucking insane. The charity Animal Equity UK obtained the footage, which in some cases features days-old chicks dead in farm sheds. The charity's director, Tony Vernelli, said the conditions were horrifying and unnatural. Of course it's unnatural because Esau's fucking unnatural. And it's Esau that owns these farms. You don't see Jake owning large-scale farms like this. But continuing on, it says, according to The Guardian, inspectors representing the Red Tractor Assurance Scheme visited the farms in question in April, May and June before the footage was made and deemed them as failing to meet minimum animal welfare standards set by the industry scheme. However, there is no suggestion that the company has broken the laws with its conditions. So it says the supermarkets supplied by Moy Park are now investigating the supply chains. John T. Whittleton World Animal Protection Global Farming Campaign's head said, unfortunately, these disturbing images are typical of the low welfare practices on many factory farms across the UK, where chickens are crammed together and grow so unnaturally fast their hearts, legs and lungs can barely take the pressure. So yeah, I suspect that they're probably feeding these chickens some type of steroids or something to help bulk them up quicker, because that's what they do with cattle as well in some cases. So it says, as shown in the footage, some die before slaughter due to exhaustion or heart failure. Now that's interesting because, as I said, what usually happens to men who take steroids, they usually end up having premature heart attacks, things like that. I mean, just look at many of the old school causes of death of a lot of the old school WWF wrestlers, like well, let me think of some, like Ravishing Rick Rude and a lot of the names escape me. Ultimate Warrior, Macho Man Randy Savage, So it's been a long time since I've watched WWF, but you know, a lot of them died because of heart failure due to steroid use. And so yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if that's what's happening to these chickens. So let me continue on. It says, as shown in the footage, some die before slaughter due to exhaustion or heart failure. We're urging companies to use slower growing chicken breeds and working to end terrible suffering endured by chickens on factory farms all around the world. Consumers can help reduce this suffering by buying chicken with a higher welfare label and by eating less meat. So they're trying to flip the script and put this on the public, saying that the public are eating too much meat, which can't be true because by law we're allowed to eat meat, and Yahweh made everything in balance. But the thing is Esau does everything unbalanced, if that makes sense. So he's probably over farming these chickens, because as we know, according to the law, we're supposed to have land Sabbaths and so on and so forth. But Esau, he doesn't adhere to these things. He just over farms things to the point where the earth, stops yielding its strength. So let me just finish this article and I'll get a couple of scriptures. It says, in a statement, a spokesperson for Moy Park said, we have a zero tolerance attitude towards anything that jeopardizes the health and welfare of our birds, and we are fully investigating these allegations. It says we have robust processes in place to carefully monitor the welfare conditions for our birds, and we have regular independent audits, taking corrective action with our farming partners if required. So, listening to the jargon or the words that they're using here, it sounds like the kind of speech that a politician would use, terms such as we have robust processes, independent audits, corrective action, all this kind of shit, man, and it don't really mean anything. Let's get into the scriptures. So I'm going to first pull up Proverbs 12 and 10. And this reads, a righteous man regardeth the life of his beast, but the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel. And who is the wicked? The wicked is Esau. Let me see if I can pull that precept up. If it comes up, sometimes this app's a bit funny on this phone. No, it didn't pull it up. So lucky, let me just try and find it here. Alright, this is Psalms 17 and 13. Let's get that. Yeah, here we are. It says, arise, O Yahweh, disappoint him, cast him down, and deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. Yep, so that's the wicked that was just spoken of in Proverbs 12 and 10. Let me get Obadiah. Actually, no, let me prove this point a bit further. Let me go to Genesis 25. Right. Let me just find this here. It's going to be here. So like, just bear with me. Alright, here we go. And let me read Genesis 27 and 36. This is when Esau came to Isaac begging for a blessing after Isaac had already blessed Jacob. So Genesis 27 and 36 says, and he said, is he not rightly named Jacob? For he hath supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright, and now behold, he hath taken away my blessing. And he said, hast thou not reserved a blessing for me? And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, Behold, I have made him thy lord, and all his brethren have I given him for servants. And with corn and with wine I have sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, my son? And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou not one blessing for me? Hast thou not one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword thou shalt live, and shalt serve thy brother. And when it shall come to pass when thou shalt have dominion, thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father had blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, The days of mourning for my father's hand, then when I slay my brother Jacob. So as you can see, Esau's blessing was the sword. So I just proved that point. So let's jump into a couple more precepts. We've got Hebrews chapter 12. Where are we? Hebrews. Chapter 12 and verse, what do we want? 16 and 17, I guess. See, and it says here, Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. For ye know how that afterwards, when he would have inherited the blessing, he was rejected. For he found no place of repentance, though he sought it carefully with tears. So there's no place open for repentance open for Esau. But I've kind of diverted off point. Let me get back to the main point of this topic by going to Obadiah 1. Which is these chickens catching hell under Esau. So Obadiah 1, 3 and 6. 3 through 6, I should say. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, and saith in his heart, Who shall bring me down to the ground? This is talking about you Edomites, yeah? Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith Yahweh. Now this is the point I want to get. Verse 5. If thieves came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Would they not have stolen till they had enough? If the grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes? Yeah, see, that's the thing. Esau, he don't stop, man. He can never be satisfied, no matter how much he has, no matter how much riches or wealth he has, he can never be satisfied. He always wants more. So that's the point there. And it says in verse 6, How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? So let me get Job chapter 20. And this reads, Then answered Zophar the Naamathite and said, Therefore do my thoughts cause me to answer, and for this I make haste. I have heard the check of my reproach, and the spirit of understanding causeth me to answer. Know thou not this of old, since man was placed upon the earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment. So Esau's coming to the end of his reign. You know, his triumphing is short. So in continuing verse 6 it says, Though his excellently mount up to the heavens, and his head reach into the clouds, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, Where is he? He shall fly away as a dream. He shall fly as a dream, and shall not be found, yea, he shall be chased away as a vision of the night. The eye also which saw him shall see him no more, neither shall his place any more behold him. So Esau's through, man. Let me get to this point, jumping down to verse 18. It says, That which he laboured for shall he restore, and shall not swallow it down. According to his substance shall the restitution be, and he shall not rejoice therein. This is the point. It says, Because he hath oppressed and have forsaken the poor, and have violently taken away a house which he builded not. Continuing, it says, Surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly, he shall not save that which he desired. There shall be none of his meat, there shall none of his meat be left, therefore shall no man look for his goods. In the fullness of his sufficiency he shall be in straits, every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. When he is about to fill his belly, God shall cast his fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. Yeah? And it says, he shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. It's talking about the nuclear destruction. It is drawn and cometh out of the body, yea, the glittering sword cometh out of his goal, terrors are upon him. Now, that's the whole point. Basically, while Esau is getting ready to fill his belly, the Lord's Yahushua is gonna come back and destroy him in the fullness of his sufficiency, if that's saying that correctly. So, just a few more precepts. I don't want to make this lesson too long. 1 Timothy 6 and 10. This reads, for the love of money, now this is the main point. For the love of money is the root of all evil, which some... Let me start again. For the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some have coveted after, they have erred from faith, and have pierced themselves through with many sorrows. So that's Esau right there. Let me get Psalm 73 and I'm going to close out. Yeah, I'm going to start from verse 3. Psalm 73 and 3, it says, for I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. For there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm. They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. Because obviously, as Israelites, we're currently under the curses of Deuteronomy chapter 28, verses 15 through to 68, if I'm not mistaken. Those are the curses we're currently under. But Esau's not under these curses yet, but eventually these curses are going to be flipped around and fall upon him and all the other heathen nations. So continuing on in verse 6, it says, therefore pride has compassed them about as a chain, violence covereth them as a garment. Their eyes stand out with fatness, they have more than the heart could wish. They are corrupt and speak wickedly, concerning oppression, they speak loftily. Jumping down to verse 12, it says, behold, these are the ungodly who prosper in the world, they increase in riches. So I'm going to leave that at that. I made the point. I've made the point, so I'm going to close this lesson out. Esau is the wicked, and he's not only smiting the nations in wrath, he's smiting the animals in wrath too. So everybody's catching hell under Esau, and that's why we need Yahushua to come back and put an end to this place, so that the earth can be restored to a righteous balance. Yeah, so these poor chickens are catching hell under Esau. So they're probably calling for Yahushua to come back too. So I'm going to close this lesson out. So once again, giving all praise, honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushua, Bahashem Ruchakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Sincere shalom to all you Akim who are pushing this word in truth and sincerity around the globe. And until the next lesson, Lord willing, I say shalom.